everybody. Welcome to Whisper, an interview that I had with Colby Wilks. And we are just going to go ahead and play it out because I actually forgot the name of my podcast. We both are busy and we just going to go into this. Life happens. So I forgot all the stuff that's going on. I will remember it, but that's not important. We have Colby Wilks. He is an intuitive wayfinder who combines deep compassion, humor, as you can see, and directness to help others break free and live with purpose. Once labeled with severe learning disability and struggling with self-worth, Colby transformed his pain into power, earning a master's from NYU, New York City. Yes. Leading the award-winning self-development program and training in multiple healing practice. Today, he uses his intuitive gift to guide others toward with self. I like that. Acceptance, truth, and lasting well-being. Well, we are going to start this party today. I have some questions. But first, I'm going to give Colby the floor. Could you give them a brief intro of you?
Sure, Phyllis. I'm Colby Wilk. I work as an intuitive wayfinder, which means I use my intuitive gift to spot what's in someone's way, causing them suffering. Something they've abandoned, lost, that they don't even know is in their way. I help to bring their attention to it and release it. I help people to become who they are and to step into the life that's been calling them. I do.
That is really deep. I want to know, what do being a wayfinder means to you?
A wayfinder to me is someone that helps you find your way to what you want, who you want to be, and to the life you want to live. I just do wayfinding using my gift. Now, wayfinding traditionally was, I understand, a Polynesian term used to navigate the boats through the stars, using the stars as a way of navigating. So it's similar, right? I help you to navigate towards where you want to go.
I like that. For all of those who had chimed in, my podcast is Whisper Unplugged. For some reason, the plug was still in there. So that's what happened when we started this. I'm so happy that we have this guest because he is unique, he's different, and this podcast is going to reach those people. What type of people do you transform? What type of people do you normally attract?
Well, one, I don't transform anyone. I help you to look at you and look at what you're not looking at. And the people who I work with have usually read a lot of self-help books, been to therapy, been to gurus and shaman, and yet true well-being still seems to elude them, even though they've done a lot of work. And they're like, well, I put a lot of effort into myself. I've done a lot of work, yet I'm still not where I want to be. Why is that? And usually it's because they're not aware of what they're stepping over. In any situation where if someone, to your audience, if you're stuck or lost, it's because you're stepping over a truth. There's a truth that you're avoiding.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. So I'll give you an example. I saw a woman not too long ago, young lady, very attractive, said she couldn't meet anyone and she wants to be married. And when I went and looked and used my gift, I heard clearly she doesn't want love. She wants to be validated. Now, if you're a spiritual person, that means that you've invited your soul in. I apologize. That means you've invited your soul in to assist you, to move you towards what you're here to evolve into. So she thinks she wants love when really she wants validation. And because of that, she's not going to attract anyone. Her soul wants her to know validation. If she happened to meet somebody, a soulmate, then she wouldn't have to validate herself. So when I brought this to her attention, look, you don't want love. The truth will piss you off first. It'll set you free, but it'll piss you off first. She got very angry until she finally, yes, I want to bring a man home to prove to my father that I'm okay. That's what I want. And I'm like, well, let's work on, that's true, crying, tears. And so as long as we know that she needs to be validated, she wants to validate herself, then I know where to take her. I know what the work is. She knows what the work is. And then maybe when she gets proficient at validating herself, the man will show up. Maybe, maybe not.
I listened to that one. Do you get testimonies like this lady that they would come back and say, hey, I met the man? It could be something different.
Yeah, there is hundreds of testimonials on my website. And written, video, right? I've been doing this 30 years, so I'm fairly, versed, right? If you're stuck and if you're lost, it's because you're stepping over the truth. I'll give you another example because I want to push this point for your audience because I think it would be helpful. I had a gentleman who couldn't pass his naturopath exams. He wants to be a naturopathic doctor. Great guy. And when I went and looked, I saw him doing carpentry. I'm like, what's with you in doing carpentry? He's like, I love carpentry, but my father's a carpenter. I don't want to be blue collar.
Mm.
You love this, but you don't want to be it. Why do you want to be a naturopath? Because it's white collar, it's smart. So you don't really love the work of naturopathy. You love that it gives you a definition of self and you're not passing your exams. So his soul is like, look, naturopathy is not for you because you're doing it to prove something to somebody else. What if you accepted yourself as a carpenter? He's like, oh, well, I don't make a lot of money. I don't know about you, but I live in Seattle. Carpenters, handymen make a ton of money, right? And he finally got it. He's like, look, I'll accept myself. And he bought a truck, got two assistants. He's making a ton of money. So happy. If you're stuck, if you're lost, my guess is you're stepping over a truth.
I like what you said so far, Colby, is you deal with the spiritual or the soul, which I usually deal with the spirit too, because a lot of people concentrate on the physical side. And I believe that everything you see on the physical side, everything got to start in the spiritual. Now, I'm going to act like the average religious person who would come to you and say, are you a psychic? What do you consider yourself? What do you call yourself?
Well, I'm not in love with the term psychic because to me, that term means tarot card reader, some woman you meet at a fair who tells you who your lover is going to be and makes you feel good because they anticipate a future that you want to live. So they're appealing to the ego. That's what a psychic does. It's, to me, a misuse of the gift because the gift of the psychic appeals to someone's ego. I'm an intuitive, right? An intuitive feels to me the word more grounded, more whole. I am partnering with you, right? And I'm using my intuitive gift to see what you want, what you really want, and what's in your way. Not what you think you want, not what you should want, but what you really want. The soul, the larger version of you, is taking orders from you. It's not puppeting you around because people are like, oh, I don't want to know what my soul wants because I'm working for somebody else. No, no, no. Your soul is saying, what does Colby, what does Phyllis really want? Not bonbons, a slice of pizza, or ice cream, but what is your heart-filled desire? And then your soul is trying to lead you there. And it may not seem like a straight path. That's what I'm good at, figuring out what someone's soul is
Now,
trying
you said something that was powerful. You help people discover the truth. So you're saying the soul is going to reveal the truth of them. But meanwhile, what do you call the other part of them? Are they living a lie?
Well, let's take you, for instance. You have these teeny tiny wings on your back. Teeny tiny, like sparrow-sized wings. And they're flapping like this. But given that you're a person, these wings are not going to let you fly. So the wings need to be expanded and you need to give into your angelic nature. So if I were working with you, I would be asking you, why do you have such small wings? Why are you afraid to fly? Why don't you have wings in concert with who you are? And I would start exploring with you why that's not happening. Because that's what I see when I look at you, these teeny tiny wings. So the part of somebody that doesn't let them know the truth, it's because you don't think you can have what you want. You don't think it's okay to have what you want. You don't think it's okay to be that big and original and fly your freak flag high for whatever reason. So, for instance, a gay person may not want to come out because they don't think they could have a healthy relationship with a same gendered person, or they feel like they'll disappoint people. And so they keep it from themselves until they forget who they are. And then one day they meet somebody who's of the same gender, and all this emotion and sexuality flows. They're like, oh, right, I am attracted to the same gender. Why do we deny ourselves? Because we think we have to deny ourselves. The person who can free us is us, and the person who's in our way is us. That's just true.
Yes, I agree because I do self mastery, but not the way that you're doing it. You're showing me and the listeners another way. I don't call it intuitive, I call it prophetic, but it's still the same. And that's why when I ran across the email from you, I looked on your website and I was like, really? and it just blew my mind. His website will be in my description. It really blew my mind because it's just different. What I admire about you is so many people is stuck. When they come to you, they went to other people first.
Phyllis, one, I love that you admire me. It's a kick. It's a total kick. Well, people tend to go to intuitives when they've done a lot of work on their own. Like they've done the cognitive, they've done the intellectual, and still they're experiencing a level of dissatisfaction, stuck, or lost, right? And so very, very few times do I see a beginner. Very few times. So, like for instance, I got a call 2 days ago from a young lady who's 17 who said, look, hey, I want you to resolve all my inner conflicts. And God bless her that she believes that. God bless her, right? But she's young. She's young. And there are a lot of people with my kind of gift that'll give her the impression, presto changeo, you can change. And miracles happen. That's true. I had another person who came and wanted me to put a spell on her husband who left, a love spell. I'm like, one, I don't do that because I'm not going to interfere with anyone's will. And two, I don't know if it's even possible, but why don't we deal with your loss, deal with your grief? Because that's the offering. Not to, so many people in the self-development community are trying to convince people they have more control than they think they do. And there's some truth to that. And there's also a place for surrender. Do what you can and then let go of the rest and learn how to surrender so you don't give yourself headaches, rashes, insomnia, digestive issues. Don't stress out. Let go. But the self-development community doesn't really speak to that. God, the divine, whatever you want to call that, is not to be understood. My ways are not your ways. That's in the Bible.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is the great mystery. We don't understand it. It's our job just to play the game and enjoy the game. That is life.
The game of life, Florence Shin. I do believe that. Yes, I definitely believe that. And true, it is a mystery. I think that we are trying to grab everything that's on the outside of us. But I notice what you've been talking about, Colby, is really like, I always say you can't blame nobody but yourself. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to blame yourself. You're supposed to look within first. It sounds like you take them to their self, like this lady wanted to go and put something on somebody else.
Right.
But you took her to herself. That's what I try to do, self-mastery. I'm learning a lot from you. And
Phyllis, you're so generous.
I already snooped your website and got all the information that I needed. You had a upbringing that was difficult for you. Could you tell me, how have your family, all that you've been through, how did it bring you to this point where you at right now?
Phyllis, I just want to say, hey.
You don't have no family?
No. Well, look, I am, no. I'm Jewish, right? Oy vey is Yiddish, meaning oy. I can't even translate it. But let's see. I am a Jew raised on Long Island.
Hey.
You're from Long Island?
Bronx.
Wonderful. My father was from the Bronx. And let's see. I was classified as learning disabled when I was about 6. They thought I might be retarded. And so there was a lot of like, he can't live on his own. He'll never be able to make it on his own. He will. And, my mom kept me, in the grade that I was in, employed my sister to tutor me, which was.
I want to make sure when I send this to social media, they hear this part.
Okay. So I was classified as learning disabled. My sister was my tutor, which was very, very difficult for her. God bless her. And I graduated from high school, went to college. And with all of that, I had all this self-esteem issues. Like, can I make it on my own? How do I perform? Will I be able to live on my own? And that created a whole lot of challenges. Plus, I came out as a gay man, which furthered the self-hatred. Here, and I'm all artistic and creative and intuitive. So I have my challenges and highly, highly sensitive.
Do your family back you up now?
My family has always backed me up. Always.
That's good.
Now, was the way they backed me up enough and felt like love to me? Not necessarily, no. Did it feel like support to me? Not necessarily, no. But I come from good people. I do, very good people. But like, I'm a different breed than the rest of my family. I'm a black sheep. Like, I'm intuitive. I'm sensitive. I'm physically fragile. I am. So that's a challenge to live, especially as a man, right? With all of that.
Colby, wouldn't you say that the black sheep of the family had a purpose or a mission? I mean, look at all the people that you're helping.
I'm not saying it, it's just like intuition. It's a gift and everything's a curse. It's all how you play it, right? Like my gift is profound. I'm not, patting myself on the back, but it's also a pain in the ass. It's sensitive.
Yes.
It's also a pain in the ass, right? But you get what you get, right? Like I'm not blonde and 6'2". I got this, and I'm working with it as best as I can.
Yeah, but a lot of blondes at 6'2", they going through a lot of suffering. It doesn't really matter. I feel it's a curse, it's a blessing. I call it a two-edged sword.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I could relate to you. Tell me something. What's the mission behind your work?
I'll tell you a secret, Phyllis.
It ain't gonna be a secret after this. You do understand that.
I don't
Don't tell everybody I told. Phyllis done told my secret.
Phyllis, don't tell nobody. And if you're listening, don't tell nobody. Here's the truth.
Okay.
If you work to change people, you're going to get disappointed and you're going to get more fragile. Because if I am working to change you, that means I'm overly invested in your change and I'm going to get weird about it and I'm going to get controlling about it. I work because what I do is an expression of who I am. That's it. I work because this is an expression of me. Here you go. And as a result of that, some people change because I give way. Really, my gift is listening. I listen to what's said and what's not said. And giving permission to people to be who they are is the healing. That's just true.
And I had to just get you by yourself because I want everybody to hear that.
Oh, you're beautiful, Phyllis.
Thank you so much. I'm speechless, but and you probably heard this before. I thought I was doing the work on the spiritual side, and for religious people, no, not what you think. It's not witchcraft and all of that. I think that it's a taboo when you say spiritual. Would you consider yourself spiritual or religious, or neither one?
So in my opinion, religion is a great path for those people who are called to a specific religion because those people have been doing that religion for however long, centuries, 10 years, whatever it is. And if that's well walked is easier to follow. That's just true, right? Because there are people who support you, people who know what you're up to. There are rituals and family and support. Easy peasy. Not easy peasy, it's easier path. Those of us who are spiritual but non-religious are grasping in the dark, finding our next step. And it's a more difficult path. But like I'm a Jew because my family is Jewish. My ancestors are Jewish. But religion, I don't relate to the Jewish religion. I relate to the neurosis. I like the food. I like other Jews, like their affect, but I'm not religious. Like I don't really like going to temple. So I don't. But I've taken classes in Buddhism and Tantra and Sufism. I kind of experiment. Now, those people who are religious might look at me and say, you need to get serious about something. And I might look at them and say, you need to open your mind.
That's a slap in the face.
Right now, that doesn't mean I would say that to somebody. But if we make somebody else wrong, we're in our ego. Like you do you. Look, healing is becoming ourselves. That's what healing is. It's not becoming a better version of ourselves. That's not healing. That's coaching. And there's a place for it. Okay. But healing, true healing is allowing yourself to become you, whoever that may be, which means that it's a continual coming out process, right?
Yes, I do believe that.
Right? So if you're really spiritual, if you're on a spiritual path, what you're saying, which people don't understand is, I am willing to relinquish that which is false about me. I'm willing to relinquish my false self. That's what being spiritual is. And by the way, that is not an easy process. So for instance, you might have gotten married. It was lovely for a while. Then you changed. Like, well, this is not in concert with me anymore. We've tried marriage therapy. He's not bad. He's not wrong, or she. So I'm willing, but people will be mad at me. He'll be mad at me or whatever. Okay, I'm going to relinquish this part. I don't want to be married anymore. I went to school to be a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. Oh, I don't want to. I relinquish that. And people don't want to relinquish themselves because we're all trying to become this big version. Our society rewards people who are thought leaders and masters and building, their fiefdom. But true spirituality is relinquishing ourselves so that we realize who we really are, the unified self, the I am, as you were speaking about, I think, a week or two ago, the true, pure awareness.
Yes, and the power in that name, I am, is today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but I am. I definitely agree with you. I went on your website, you had products and different services. Tell the listeners what inspired you. Tell me, who is it really for?
Okay, I'm going to tell another secret, Phyllis. Shh, don't tell anybody.
This will be out next week, y'all. But anyway,
Don't tell nobody.
till
Listeners,
next week.
don't tell nobody.
Okay.
Anyone who does this kind of work,
Yes.
we're doing it, hold on, everyone, for ourselves. That's true. The reason I do this work is because I need this work. The reason I do this work was to get out of pain. Anyone who's not doing it for themselves, you should run away from because they're doing it to make money. They're doing it to have influence and power. And that corrupts. I'm being honest. I do this work because I need this work. And I work with other people and I'm so insightful because I know you, because I know me. That's how I know you, because I know me. And we're all not that different. So any sort of thing that I've developed, any workshop, retreat, digital product, is because I needed it. And I'm able to listen simultaneously to what you need and make it resonate with not only what I need, but so it resonates with your need as well, which is the same as my need. But don't fool yourself. The healer, the coach is doing it for them. It's just you need it too.
When you say you need it too, are you saying that a healer or a counselor getting healed at the same time?
Absolutely. Every time. And if they're not, one, they're going to get really bored really quickly and they're going to get resentful. So anytime I'm meeting with a couple, let's say, and they're working on their communication, even though I'm advising them or teaching them skills, I'm honing my skills so that the person I date next can benefit from that. Reason that we do this work is to heal ourselves. You all are a side benefit. That's just true. And you should take comfort in that because you know what my motivation is. I'm being honest. If you're going to someone who's saying this is all about you, come on, that's not true. And on some level, you know that. You shouldn't trust it because then you're dealing with somebody with a guru complex. Having said that, I've developed workshops for years, and I might pick up one that I taught 20 years ago. I'm no longer what I was then. Do I need that same material now? Not as much, maybe differently, but I've moved on. But I might be offering that. But I could always share like, oh, when I was struggling with this is what I came to. The only reason I know what to do with you all is because I know me. I'm not that different. I had a Kundalini awakening. That's energy at the base of the spine that comes up, wraps up. And it took me out the last time. And I couldn't leave the house for 3 years. Like I stayed in my house because the world was just too much. And the process of being alone for 3 years helps you to know yourself.
That was so deep. I'm going to have to go back and listen to this. But thank you for sharing that secret. That will no longer be a secret. Before I go to the next question, and first of all, I'm having a wonderful time with you, Colby, because your personality is just
God bless
somebody
you.
that you have to invite to the party.
Phyllis, when you have a party, I can't wait to get an invite. I will fly
But
in.
it might not be that party. You understand? Because there's people out there giving the wrong party now. So got to go back. And you just said it's not for the person, it's for you.
I do know the people who I went to school for to be a therapist. All of us had a positive experience with therapy and wanted to be therapists. And the process of becoming therapists, we healed. Now, some therapists
See what you're saying.
become therapists and then get to the end of their education and licensing and then realize, look, I don't want to do this professionally. I did the training for myself. I feel healed. Now I want to go be an artist or a lawyer or a plumber or whatever it is, right? Now, a content developer, which I'm not, but they're doing it to be seen or to get attention or to be acknowledged or to be validated. That's why they're doing it. That's okay. That's okay. I like to be seen. I like to be validated. There's nothing wrong with that. A lawyer might do it because they have a thing about justice and they want to make money and they want status. It's fine. We have an ego and a spirit. The ego is helpful. Within the ego is a positive ego and a negative ego, right? So the positive ego, look, I want to make a living. I want money to have children. I want a nice home. I want security. Great. Go forth. But once the ego becomes the negative ego, I'm better than they are because I'm a lawyer and they're not. I'm a doctor and they're not. How dare you? Then it gets wacky because it's fed with judgment. And then you separate yourself. And then that creates all sorts of stuff.
It sounds like whatever field you in, there for your ego or for your spirit. Am I
You're
hitting
there.
the
You're
right?
always there for both.
You there for both.
Always, yeah, yeah. Like my friend, like I spoke to you about, the client who came who wanted to be a naturopath. He studied to be a naturopath because he didn't want to be blue collar. That was his ego. But his spirit is like, he needs to resolve this. He needs to resolve not wanting to be blue collar. So let's steer him into something that's white collar that he will fail. And the only way he'll succeed is if he accepts his blue collarness. Again, healing is always around self-acceptance. Ego and spirit are always working in tandem.
Okay. So you're saying you still got the ego and you got the spirit, but they should be in harmony. And if they not, is it a war between the two?
Yeah, then there's the I should be able to pass this naturopathic exam and I'm dumb. Then they're in conflict, right? The ego is trying to get you to be white collar in his example. And the spirit's like, accept yourself, accept want to, right? And that eventually happens as all of us want change, right? I want a better house. I want better
Mhm.
health. I want, right? But very few of us are willing to change because change means letting go and accepting. And that's when we know our ego is receding and our spirit is moving forward. When I'm willing to let go of who I've been, who I think I have to be. Look, we're both not we're not 20 years old, you and I, right? We're
No.
not, right? And so
Hmm.
the process of aging is letting go. I don't feel like I did in my 20s. I could make that wrong. Or I could be like, this is aging. Aging is letting go. Those of us who hold on really tightly and get plastic surgery, for instance, which is not a bad thing, over exercise, compare ourselves to what we look like in our 20s, we suffer terribly, as opposed to learning to let go because we are being prepared to do the ultimate letting go when we die. That's what aging is for, is to teach us to let go. So when that moment finally occurs, we can let go fully.
I definitely agree. I'm a Christian, but for those people out there, the New Testament always talk about the spirit and the flesh is at war with each other. Liken it to when you say going out there and trying to get the plastic surgery and all of that. A lot of times we are trying to get what's out there. I feel what's in the physical realm back to your spiritual, which is within. Now, as you can see, I am really a fan of mystic teachers, Napoleon Hill, Neville. I do believe in going within for everything, not seen. It sounds to me like the ego is really on the outside, but it's like
Outside of
you do the work on the inside.
Sure, let me compare it to this. Let's take an egg. Okay. The yolk, the yellow, is the spirit. The white is the ego. In order to get through to the spirit, which is the yellow, we have to break through the yellow, the white, with the
Mhm.
breakthrough. Okay. The ego needs to be cracked in order to let the spirit out. Another way of saying it, which you've heard, is it's the crack is how the light gets in. You've heard that. So we need to break through the ego to get to our spirit. This is why so many people today, their lives are falling apart. Your lives are falling apart because as a collective, as a galactic whatever, there's light coming in, causing what we thought we were to fall apart so that we can get to our spirit, so we can get free. That process is not necessarily an easy one.
No, it's not. A lot of people don't believe that they have a spirit. Have you heard that?
Well, given what I do, I think people know what they're getting into with me, right? So I may have people who say, I believe there's a spirit, or I'd like to believe, but I'd
Mm,
like a firsthand experience of it.
Okay,
right?
I can see that.
So
Mhm,
people who are so sure that there's no spirit, that's not true because
mhm.
you can't be sure. How would you be sure? Like, I'm not sure there's a God. I don't know. How would I be sure? I'd like to believe I have some evidence. I have a feeling. How are you so sure? That's your ego. You're trying to know how life is so that you could have more control of it, which a lot of new agey self-development people are pushing. This is why this is happening. Why is this happening? Well, that's what I created. Wait a minute, hold on. We don't, yes, your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations, your meditation practice, your prayer practice, all has a role in what you're manifesting. But it's not the only thing. There are forces working upon us that we don't understand and that are countless. Give yourself a break. We don't know how this universe works. I had a guy come to me who wanted me to put hair on his head, like to regrow his hair. And I looked at him and I said, "Do you see this bald spot up here? Do you see that? Do you think if I had that ability, this would be here?" Let's talk about you taking comfort with yourself, you accepting yourself as you are. Because, my friend, I said, this is bothering you today. Tomorrow it'll be these,
I
right?
like that.
It'll be this. The next day, there's always something to complain about. There's always something to be dissatisfied with.
On the outside. Yes, I do believe that.
Right? Satisfaction is a habit, choosing to be satisfied. For a moment, you can choose to be more satisfied than you are right now.
Choose life or death. God didn't say he would choose it. He said, you choose life or death. I love what you're saying. You giving the people a real choice. Did I say that
You did
correctly?
good.
I'm still digesting. I'm still there with the truth of you and the ego. Those are two things that you keep saying. And I'm like, wow.
The thing to heal, the
Mm.
wound, the trauma. Colby, can you tell me why I'm stuck or lost? Like, what do we need to release? And my friends, you have countless lifetimes. And if your trauma is anywhere, it's in your body, right? Where else would God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call that, put it? First thing to do is bring your attention into your body. And we could do a couple of practices if you like to do that. Then to stop chasing your trauma, to stop looking for something to heal. Like, yes, there's a place for that, but
Ooh,
there's also a place for managing yourself moment by moment to feel better and better and better. Because so many people want someone to heal them so that they don't have to do the work moment by moment.
I see what you're saying. Even though you are there to help others and yourself, would you say that the workshops that you give, people have to put into it? Because some people, like you said, just fix me.
Right. And well, the challenge with some of the world religions is somebody awakened will come and put their hand on your third eye and boom, and down you go, and you'll shake a little bit, right? Change or you change. Now, does that happen? Yes, it
Hmm.
does happen, but it's not that frequent. Now, let's talk about this. You have a consciousness. Can I change that consciousness with my consciousness? If you allow me to, sure, that's a huge responsibility. Do I want that responsibility? Absolutely not. Going to other people, therapists, healers, psychics, shamans, gurus, change me. Now, let's look at the wackiness of that. Are you going to let someone you don't know change you and change your infrastructure without going through exactly what they're doing? If you really believe that they could do that, would you allow it? Absolutely not. But you don't believe it's really happening, and therefore you allow them to do it and then get disappointed when nothing shows up.
That
It's
is so
self
true.
fulfilling.
I know being a Jew, you know about the pastors and the priests. What do you say to the congregation that just put their whole power in the pastor or priest and have been hurt? Because I have a book on that, church hurt.
Participated with a number of gurus and in some cults, right? So more, and there's some powerful, powerful leaders who
Mhm.
are certainly gifted. And you got to wonder if this, how could God allow this person to be so gifted if they're so unethical, right? So the question is, if you're still on earth, in my opinion, you have work to do. If you're still here, you've got work. So you better be careful who you trust. And the person to trust is you and what your instinct is telling you. If your instinct is telling you to give away your power, that this person is going to heal you and make everything okay, that is more your inner child running amok and taking control of you. The person who can save you is you. And the person who needs to be saved by you is you. You want to find somebody who's going to walk with you on your path. Now, we all have childhood trauma. Trauma, let me define that for a moment, is anytime you experience something, feeling, and you couldn't allow yourself to fully experience it because it wasn't safe. For instance, you got lost at the mall, and instead of crying and holding your head, you held it together because you wanted to keep exploring and trying to find your mommy or daddy. That would be traumatic. Now, if you sat down and cried, less traumatic, right? Because you experienced what you were experiencing. All of us have trauma because all of us have felt like I can't allow myself to experience the emotion right now because it's not safe. That's trauma. All of us have it. All of us have it. And the way to resolve it is to find somebody you're willing to walk with that you allow into your mental landscape, because we're all terrified to go in because we're scared of what's there, because what's there is what you stored, because you stored it there because it was too unsafe to feel. So it's scary to go in. Scary. So find somebody that you think is competent, that you like, that will take the time to get to know you and your landscape, so you will allow them in. What makes the difference is your willingness to allow somebody. It's not that somebody has magical skills and whack. It's not up to them. It's up to you. How willing are you to open? And if anyone's got trauma, including myself, we have learned to close, to protect ourselves. Right. And that's a valuable skill. We don't want to give that up. Now, some of us are so close that we can't.
I agree. First of all, if y'all made it this far, please subscribe.
Do it. Subscribe.
While y'all subscribing to me, how do people connect with you?
Sweet. I have a website, colbywilk.com, COLBYWILK.com. I have a huge blog with all sorts of goodies, as well as you can sign up for the newsletter so you're informed about other practices, other freebies, workshops, discounts, the like, as well as on most of the social media channels.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I want to know something. Now you gave us a lot of secrets. Before we go into the practice, could you tell us something about you that would surprise people?
Something about me that would surprise people. I don't know. I like cookies. I can't be trusted to get a package of cookies.
Oh, really? What's your favorite?
Anything chocolate chip. Anything. Yeah.
Do you make them? Or you
no,
just
because I can't be trusted. I would.
Oh,
but if I make a batch of cookies, I'm eating the batch of cookies.
I can imagine people coming to your house and you say, "My goodness, I had some wonderful chocolate chips. It's good."
So here in Seattle, they have you could buy one cookie, ridiculously expensive. But so I allow myself one cookie a day. Some days more. Some days more, to be honest with you. But one cookie a day. So I love the cookies.
Well, you just surprised us. But honestly, everybody loves chocolate chip. I don't trust myself. No, I don't keep it in the house. I tell you what I like. I used to eat graham crackers a lot. And I stopped lying to myself. I just stopped. I can't. It's sad. I don't even want to talk about it.
I bought a box of Cheerios yesterday.
Oh my goodness, that take me way back.
Honey Nut Cheerios. I ate the whole box.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the little box that you get at hotels, right? Yeah. Just sell me the little box. I'll pay $8, whatever it is. You got to get the big Costco size. I ate the whole thing.
You have to know, because sometimes I say, I love you, graham cracker, but you don't love me. So I just got to go. And marketers know, because it's certain foods that you cannot get a little handful. Because I have some peanuts here. I'm going to tell you right now, I have to push it aside and say, no, not today. I have to talk to it. So I definitely understand you. Now, we are going to go into a practice. I'm going to say my last question for as we leave. First of all, I do definitely want to just say thank you. Hopefully we will meet again, because what you have to share with people is just 1 hour is not enough. So hopefully, what is this practice that we'll get ready to do?
I have thousands of practices. So let's do a practice. What would you like? And I'll give you a practice for it. Colby, I want to be more in love. Colby, I want to be more embodied. Colby, I want to be more still. I want my mind to calm. What do you want?
I'm going to say love, because I've been there though. I had love when I was young, but as an adult, I'm married to my job.
Okay, so you want to open to more love. Okay, that's easy peasy. So so you have a heart, just informing you. So you have a heart chakra about here. And the
Right
front
away.
of your heart chakra is where you give love, okay? Which yours is very wide and open. It's beautiful.
Thank
The
you.
back of your heart is where you receive.
Mhm.
Yours is tight, okay? And small and very round and with a perimeter, which says
Mhm.
to me, it's been like this for some time, okay? And what we want, I would think, is a nice open back of our heart so we
Mhm.
could receive more love. Now, the reason this is open is, well, women, for the most part, are trained in this country anyway
Mhm.
to be givers, right? One, and two, you're a lovely person, right? So you like giving, you're good at giving, you're forgiving.
I'm a counselor.
Sense. Okay, so
Yes.
we're going to look back here. Now we're going to tie your heart chakra to your hand, okay? Because most people don't know how to open their heart consciously. They're like, is my heart open? I think my heart's open. I don't know, but I can't find a boyfriend. So
Mhm.
I want you to take your hand and feel how open your heart chakra is. Do you think it's this open? Do you think it's this open? Do you think it's that open? How open do you think it is? You sense. Okay, about there. Perfect. I want you to keep your attention on the back of your heart, and I want you to close up your heart a little bit with your hand. There you go. Very nice. So we're attaching your heart to your hand. And now we're going to open your hand a little bit slowly and keeping your attention on the back. There you go. And keep your attention on the back of your heart. Back of your heart, hand open. Back of your hand, back of your heart, hand open. Great. Now close up your hand and back of your heart. Slow, lower than you are. We're tying. There you go. And open up your hand and open up the back of your heart slowly. There we go. Now we're going to slowly open our hand bigger than it was. Keep your attention on the back of your heart. There we go. Back of your heart, hand opening. Close up your hand. Close up the back of your heart. Slower. Move slower. And open your hand, back of the heart. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just a little bit more. Hang out. And now we open wide. There you go. Now your heart is open. Can you feel that? It's a lot of energy. And now we open up. So all we're doing is attaching your heart chakra to your hand so you have more control. So you can choose when to open and when to close. There you go. And now you're more available. Can you feel
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Now, if I'm showing this to like my nieces or my sister, I would say you don't want to walk around with your heart open all the time because you don't want that kind of attention, right? So we want to be conscious of what our field is doing at any one point in time. So when people are upset that they're not getting, their heart is closed. As soon as you open up your heart, you're not so concerned about not getting because you feel like life is supporting you. Can you feel the peace that's surrounding you now?
Well, I feel like I was carrying luggage. I know that's strange. I
No, that's
kind of
not
feel
strange.
like, okay, my luggage is off.
Feel unprotected?
No, I feel like I'm not shamed, nothing to hide.
Good. And that's going to be much more attractive to who you want to draw to. The people who complain that they can't attract, their hearts are closed. That's just the truth.
Well,
And so, if you want to start attracting, you're going to have to start being vulnerable, which means opening the back of your heart. And it's not true vulnerability. It's not like someone's going to come stab you. You're not taking, it's just being willing to be you.
yes. That was different. Thank you.
My goal is that you get to know yourself as who you are, your magnificent, limitless, brilliant self, and you step into the life that's been calling you. So, yes, sessions, the effect lasts. And like this heart thing is a practice. You got to keep doing it until
Oh,
your heart, you have more control. So it's not like a magic pill. Like, come on, people. Like, haven't, we're old enough, you and I, to know that
mhm.
there's no magic pill, right? It's about where you're putting your attention, right? So, like, the more you practice this, the more you're going to have awareness. Oh, my heart's closed. Oh, let me see if I open it. Oh, I feel so much better. It's more familiar. And then we start opening your third eye. And then we start opening your root. And we start getting you to integrate your higher self. And then we start activating the rest of you,
I see
right?
what you're saying.
Like, what is a human being? That's my big interest. What is the apex of evolution for a person? Not, oh, I
Wow.
want to have a house and I have, no, no, no. What is the apex of evolution for you?
Colby, I believe in divine connection. And it was a reason that Colby had to come over here because he's not only showing me something, you need to go to his website. I'm going to ask the last question. It probably won't be the last question because I'm pretty sure we will meet again, but today is gonna be last. L Colby, what do you want people to remember you for?
I don't care. I don't care if they remember
Mm.
me. Now, here's the deal, in my opinion. I know that's all ego, right? Like, I know about George Washington. Our country's about 250 years old, right? I know very little. I know very little about my great grandfather. Very little, right? So, why do I need people to remember me? Because I don't believe that I exist. That's why I want people to remember me, because I don't believe that I go on forever. But I know I go on forever. I know I'm limitless because I know God is limitless. And if God is limitless, then I am also limitless because I'm an aspect of the divine, just like you are. I don't need you to remember me. I'm free of that. If I need you to remember me, then I'm going to protect my identity, who you
Mm,
know me to be. And in order to protect my identity, I have to be careful and I have to be highly aware of how I'm occurring. And therefore, I separate myself from me. I don't care if I'm remembered. Remember me, don't remember me. I'm not here for you. I'm here for the experience of me. And that's why you're here. We're
yes,
all here to experience ourselves. That's it.
yes, you are absolutely right. Like I always say, if loving self is right, you don't wanna be wrong. That's my little slogan. Leave me alone with my slogan, because he just took he just took my question and he told the truth. Don't say this is my ego. Okay, let me rephrase
That
it.
is your ego.
That this is my ego because I have to have the last word. Maybe I should have never asked him because he's unique, and unique people, you gotta ask them some way up. I feel like I gotta go up here like Scotty, beat me up.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you want people to say about you today? Not when you gone, but today.
Colby helped me to realize that I don't need to change myself. I just need to allow myself to become me, to be me.
He said it, y'all heard it here. To be continued. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having